So just a quick note. I was not a speaker, but I joined a panel on a Zoom panel of it's called Fathers of Color and Mental Health, and it was moderated by Jeff Johnson. He co-wrote a book with Steve Harvey, and I'm sure he does a lot of stuff. And then Dante Jackson, who's a football player, and it was a really dope conversation. And that comes out on Monday, so it'll be the day before this drops.
Jeff
And
John, I think he used to work for BET, or maybe still does.
Jeff Johnson,
Yeah, that name rings a
yeah,
bell.
he looked very familiar.
It'll be
And
out on YouTube. Is it a podcast or is it a video
uh,
conference type deal?
that is a great question. I mean, they're
We'll put
definitely
it in
gonna
the
have
notes.
clips on social
Yeah.
media. They sent me like a bunch. I'll show it to you guys. There, like they sent me
Okay. Nice.
like some stuff to promote it, and it says "Say I Love You" is the hashtag speaker series. That's the
Okay.
speaker series.
Say
And
I
what
love you.
was the overall? I guess what were some of the similarities that people are going through? I don't know how many different dads were on there.
Well, no, it was supposed to be a couple of us, but for this one, only Dante and myself made it.
Okay.
And what was dope about Dante and myself is that he also has a 3-year-old daughter,
Mm.
and so we were, we could relate on that level, and and think about the grueling training that someone in the NFL, constantly is away from the house. So he could relate to it in terms. Well, I mean, I can't really relate because I'm not
As
that
often.
that away from away as often as him. But the understanding of the work, family balance. Like I tackled that. I talked about that, which I talk about here a lot, and they talked a lot about like fathers having like taking care of our mental health. And one of the questions they asked, which I don't know if I felt like I answered it wrong.
Mm.
Not there's no wrong answer, but selfishly I felt like I answered it. They asked like if you could give yourself one gift to yourself, what would it be? In terms of like when it comes to like mental health type of
Okay.
relation. And I was like some alone time. Just to have some real serious alone time. Not come to the office and be away from the family alone time. Like serious, like, what is the saltwater float thing? Like, somewhere where I could just like basically if I wanted to meditate, I could just turn off the
Everything.
brain and just let myself, float away mentally. And then, the Dante, I think, said something more like having to do with his family. I was like, oh fuck, I'm an asshole, man.
No, but I think that's right though. Like when you said it in the context of the way you just described, like the session that you were a part of, like your mental health. It's like we've said this many a time, but it's like if you're not good, you can't be good for anybody else in your household. So that is very valid. Like being able to take a day, a weekend, whatever it is, and just you by yourself, that shit does a lot.
Well, I mean, a day or a weekend is
I know,
it's a
I
long
know,
shot.
I know.
I'm talking about like give me an hour or two
Right.
of where I'm really could just shut off from work and I don't want to say family because I just like I said it sounds weird to me, but to be able to like rest the brain and be able then go back and be kind of refreshed mentally to tackle everything. And what was really dope about them and this organization is they heard me say that and then they gifted me one of those saltwater flotation things for 30 minutes.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
wow.
But I told my girl because I've been wanting to do that forever.
I don't even
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, so I need to
Oh,
get
those
educated.
you never those pods where you just
Go.
float in salt water and they close it and you're in
Yeah.
darkness.
No,
Oh
Yeah.
is
man,
that
I
some
know what you're
Miami
talking
shit?
about. Go do it
they
on.
say.
Go do it on Father's Day.
I mean maybe, but it's in Miami Beach is the closest place,
Okay.
and that's where they gave it to me for. And I told my girl, it's dope, but I can't even make it over there, because of fatherhood. But man, you should
Damn
check it out. It's
fatherhood.
dope. It's a pod where because of the salt water, the density, you just float in it, and then they close the pod, and you're in darkness. They say that you feel like you start floating, like your mind, like almost it's like psychedelic.
Wow.
Joe Rogan talks about it a lot. He does it often.
So it's
Um,
a form of meditation. That's how they talk
absolutely, yeah.
about
It's
it.
like forcing meditation in a way.
Damn,
So
that
yeah,
sounds dope.
it was really cool conversation to have with these guys, and Dante would be really good guest on fatherhood. I'm trying to see if I can get him on here.
He plays for the
Yeah, so
Panthers, you said? Carolina Panthers?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not a sports guy, so
I don't
I
know a
just know
ton
he was a
about
cool
football.
dude.
He was
So
cool. That's dope.